I spent many years just not believing in anything. My relationships and my work life, because I never really had a goal. My life was sort of a dream. I was just drifting along in a dream. Spending so many years not wanting to feel, not wanting to let anybody close. Afraid I would get hurt.
I just got to that point that I was just very tired of fighting. I said to God, just take me, just let me go. I can't do this anymore. And so
there was a big window above my head, and it was open. I knew it was raining, and I couldn't hear anything. But I refused to accept that I was having a hearing issue. They said, oh, well, maybe it's not just, you haven't just lost your hearing. It could be that you have a tumor. When you are facing brain surgery, you do have a few moments, and I had 3 months to think about it and get good and scared, that you might not make it, that you might die in the surgery.
I grew up with type 1 diabetes, so I found myself hospitalized a lot in my early 20s. Of course, I took its toll on me. Time went on, and I saw the effects of being diabetic. My kidneys were only working 40%. And the first thing was like, am I going to die? Dialysis is what drained everything out of me. You take doing it for a year and a half now, 3 times a week, 4 hours a day, and still working full time, and then I would start all over again, and that was my routine. I just got to that point that I was just very tired of fighting. And I remember the phone call, the Arizona Mayo Clinic. I was just like, please give me the organs that I need to survive this. They said, you were picked out of 10 people, your numbers were the best, and we need you out here. Even though I wanted something so bad, I just didn't want to die. I didn't want that whole fight of all this, and then for me not to make it. And that was my worst fear.
After the surgery, when I didn't get to save my hearing, but I was healing, I said to myself, why are you still here? I was so happy to be alive, just loved everything. Everything was so precious to me. My 82-year-old mother took care of me, and I spent a lot of time in her backyard in front of a huge oak tree. And I learned to see differently. I was open to the unseen world, the connection to this beautiful oak tree, to the squirrels who lived in this tree. And I totally identified with these forces from the other world that were communicated with and was communicated to by nature, that they are not against us. They want us to succeed. They want to help us. They want us to be happy.
After surgery, I just felt amazing. I didn't realize how sick I really was. I was ready to get back to my life. For me to get better, to this place, somebody had to lose their life. I couldn't stop thinking about the family. You know, their son just died last week. So I was very conflicted. Dad, I need to know who this person is. He had him on the computer, and I saw David for the first time.
For many, many, many years, I kept myself locked up. My memories, my feelings about who I was. Now I want to be out of the cage. I want to be free. I had this great feeling of love for everyone. And I forgave all the people who I felt had harmed me. I knew as a teenager that writing was something that I was called to, and I kept running away from it. And I decided, well, that must be, why I'm still here, that I'm supposed to write. And it was poetry that I felt that I should be writing. The subject matter was about my search for the spirits, for those unseen energies that assist us.
Almost 2 years have gone by, feeling great about my life, my journey. This is the year, this is when I'm going to do something to honor David. I want to make a big impact on people that don't have anything. When you're living on the street, you need stuff to wash yourself, socks, toiletries, water. I went and bought, I think enough for like 60 bags. And the first time I saw somebody ripping open a bag and doing it touched me. People were coming up to me going, oh, can I have one? Can I have one? Can I have one? Some were in tears. Some were just like amazed. They couldn't believe it. So they got a little bit bigger. I started doing 100 bags, and I started doing 200 bags. I know that when I give a bag to somebody, they're grateful. And I know about being grateful to the smallest things all the way up to what I got from David.
I didn't know that it would be my life that I would write about. To help other people who have gone through something similar to realize that they can live a larger life. They can find happiness and a larger life and share it with somebody else who also needs to hear not just what I have to say, but what they have to say.
I believe that David has a huge part of this, why people are listening. I think he's helping me. He gave me life, and at the same time, he gave me a voice to communicate, to give back to people that are in need. And like I'll say to this day, I don't know David, but I love him.